We've got some news about Netflix and Amazon Music and some new products from Beyerdynamic, Moondrop and Audio-Technica, so let's just get into it. Some big updates are coming to the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 3 earbuds in the form of a firmware update that adds some much improved features. Firstly, multi-point Bluetooth connectivity is being added, which will allow you to connect to up to 2 Bluetooth devices at a time, which is a huge boost in convenience and allows for you to switch back and forth between those devices with ease. The great news is that this also works with all of the supported codecs, including aptX. The next part of this update is the addition of a high-res sound mode with the aptX Adaptive codec. aptX Adaptive is a scalable codec, and this new update adds a toggle within the app to allow the aptX Adaptive codec to scale all the way to 24-bit 96 kHz audio at a bitrate of 420 kilobits per second, which is the maximum for that codec. You'll be getting the absolute best that codec has to offer. Netflix have launched their new ad-supported subscription service, which is available now in the US, UK, Australia, and parts of Europe and Asia. This controversial new subscription plan allows for a cheaper monthly price at the cost of having ads interrupt your binge-watching session. The plan is called Basic with Ads and costs just $4.99 in the UK, with an increase of £2 to lose the adverts. The big caveat here, though, is that the streaming quality of both the Basic and the Basic with Ads plans are limited to 720p. You're going to have to step up to the standard plan at $10.99. That's a whole additional £6 to get a full HD stream quality, and go all the way to $15.99 for 4K on the premium plan. Still, that $4.99 pricing for the Basic with Ads is pretty reasonable, so this saving might be a worthwhile compromise for those looking to cut costs where possible. There is perhaps one small hiccup though, as currently the ad-supported version doesn't work on all devices, such as the Apple TV, some older Chromecasts, and it might not work on whichever smart TV that you're using. Mobile users will also have to be using newer devices, so running newer Android beyond Android 15 and iOS devices after iOS 7. But that latter point probably shouldn't make too much difference, as those devices are pretty old at this point. Still, with many of us feeling the pinch these days, I'm sure that watching a few ads for a cheaper bill might just be worthwhile for the casual Netflix users this winter. Amazon Music is giving all Prime customers more music. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber already, one of the best perks that comes with this is the free Amazon Music service that's included with your subscription. Until now, the library has been sort of limited, and it's been supported by ads, kind of like the free Spotify tier. If you wanted the full catalogue of tracks without the ads, you had to jump in on one of Amazon Music's paid tiers. That has all changed now, with Prime members now having access to Amazon's entire catalogue of music and podcasts for free with their Prime subscription. Yep, all of it. No limits, no adverts, nothing but music. That's a great deal if you're already a Prime subscriber. The only thing that you aren't getting is the lossless quality tracks that you can get with Amazon Music Unlimited. You're just getting the usual MP3 quality, just the same as a regular Spotify paid tier, but for free. If you did want to step up to lossless quality, however, that's still going to cost you an additional £8.99 in the UK or $9.99, but you're going to get lossless quality and spatial audio tracks just like Tidal or Apple Music. If you aren't sure if Amazon Music is for you, then there is a 30-day free trial. If you're interested, I'll leave an affiliate link down below so that you can sign up to Amazon Music Unlimited, and if you use it, you can help out the channel at no additional cost to you. Or just go ahead and use the free version. If you're a Prime subscriber, with these new changes, Amazon Music is probably the best free streaming service there is right now. Beyerdynamic have released some new cables for their Pro X line of headphones. That's the DT700 Pro X and the 900 Pro X. The new cable connects to the headphones with the mini XLR connector, which means that it should also be compatible with the DT1990 Pro and the DT1770 Pro, and actually should also be compatible with any other headphone with a mini XLR connector, such as AKG's K712 Pro and K371. So instead of terminating in a regular audio jack, this cable actually terminates in a USB-C connector or a Lightning connector, depending on which version that you get. So that means it's going to be compatible with Android and any laptops and PCs that have USB connectors, or iPhones and iPads that have Lightning connectors. The cable itself is 1.6 meters long, has a built-in DAC and amp, so it operates in a similar way to those little dongle DACs that you might already be familiar with. And it also has controls for play and pause and skip tracks and all of that business, with a built-in microphone so that you can take phone calls. Pricing is a fair old whack at around about €89, which is pretty high for a cable, but as it has been designed specifically to work with the 700 and 900 Pro X, one can assume that you can be reasonably sure that it is designed to give enough power for those headphones. And it's certainly going to be a much neater solution than plugging in one of those little dongles into the end of your cable. I still haven't posted my full review of the DT700 Pro X or the 900 Pro X due to my break from YouTube, so if you haven't already checked out my first impressions of those headphones and you're interested, I'll leave a link up in the top corner. So whilst I haven't done the full review yet, which I do plan to do soon, I pretty much covered most of the key points in those videos. The Moondrop Venus has been announced and is available for pre-order. Venus is Moondrop's first ever full-size planar magnetic driver headphone, and looks like a really sizable set of cans too, with this really industrial design. This one follows Moondrop's last full-size headphone, the Void, which, if you're not aware, had some problems, shall we say, on launch. I largely missed most of that drama as I wasn't really paying attention to social media at the time, but suffice to say that people weren't happy with the Void, and Moondrop weren't exactly happy themselves, so they decided to pull the product for a while and delay it, and Moondrop just announced their replacement program for those who already have the Void in hands, so that they can swap them out for their new upgraded version. Hopefully this launch of the Venus is going to go a lot smoother than the launch of the Void. The Venus features a whopping 100mm sub-nanometer thickness diaphragm with a pure silver etch circuit and N52 magnet array with shaped waveguide. The headphone itself is built using CNC machined aluminium, designed to support and add rigidity to the driver. It uses a sprung metal headband with self-adjusting suspension leather headband padding. Ear pads are also leather in what looks like a really good circumference and a good depth. The cable is detachable using 3.5mm connectors on each ear cup. It's being supplied with a single-ended regular cable with a 3.5mm jack at one end and a 382-core 6N single crystal copper Litz cable with a 4.4mm Pentagon connector at the other end for your balanced applications. Impedance is just 18 ohms with a 100 dB sensitivity, which is pretty sensitive, so these should be really easy to drive on pretty much anything. I'm not sure whether I really love the look of this Venus, or if I think it's just a bit too industrial. It really is a big old chunk of aluminium. I absolutely love the grille on the back. It's got that almost Art Deco kind of style. But I'm not sure how I feel about this big, chunky aluminium headband. All those bolts and things on it. It's definitely a look. It's definitely got its own style. It's unique. I almost feel like this would look really amazing if it had some nice wooden ear cups. Maybe something like walnut, something like a nice deep walnut sort of color. And maybe if that fancy open back grille was made from brass instead of aluminium, I think this would look really amazing. But then I've probably just described an Audio, so I guess they've got to differentiate themselves somewhere. But this Venus sure is a really industrial looking piece of hardware. Pricing is $549.99. If this headphone performs really well, at $550, it's probably going to be a really good buy, but I wonder how many people are going to be prepared to put £550 down now, especially considering the problems that Moondrop had with the launch of the Void. However, having said that, Moondrop did the right thing with the Void. They clearly care about their reputation, and hopefully they can turn that product around and we can all move on and just forget about it. The Venus is currently listed on a Shenzhen Audio group buy, which ends at the end of November and is expected to ship in early December. This is the new Audio-Technica ATH WB 2022, which is a high-end Bluetooth wireless headphone that has been made specifically for Audio-Technica's 60th anniversary. with what looks like suede leather headband padding and earpads actually a vegan-friendly Alcantara, as well as those beautiful wooden ear cups that are apparently made from multiple different woods. You've got some maple, some walnut, and some mahogany in there. In terms of spec, you're looking at 45mm drivers with a diamond-like carbon coating on the diaphragm. They have 9-hour battery life, multi-point Bluetooth connectivity with SBC, AAC, and LDAC codec support. They have a built-in microphone, USB-C charging. They can also be used wired as well as wireless. And there's a companion app which has EQ features so that you can tweak the sound profile to taste, and a really, really nice hard-shell carrying case. Audio-Technica say that the WB 2022 are the world's first headphone with a fully balanced audio output system. What this means is that each ear has its own discrete circuitry. Each ear cup has its own battery, each ear cup has its own DAC circuitry, each running its own ESS DAC chip, the 9038Q2M, and each ear cup has its own amplifier circuitry. Audio-Technica say that this gives them exceptional channel separation, and all that additional circuitry has got to add some additional weight, but making this a super portable, lightweight headphone is clearly not the point of the WB 2022. These are a seriously high-end looking pair of luxury headphones that has a limited production run and a price tag to match of $2,700. But this is clearly not just a vanity project, as Audio-Technica say they're donating a percentage of their sales of the WB 2022 to Playing for Change, a charity supporting marginalized and at-risk youth by inspiring and connecting the world through music. But if Bluetooth isn't your bag and you prefer something wired and even more high-end, then Audio-Technica also have another headphone in their 60th anniversary collection, the ATH-W 2022, which also sports that luxury headband padding and ear pads, which at first I thought was the same Alcantara, but is apparently made from deerskin. This time, the ear cups are handcrafted in Japan from a Japanese birch and hand-painted in that maquillé technique with a sakura or cherry blossom design and phoenix design on each ear cup. You're also getting a really fancy storage box made from a blend of different woods and leather. There's not any other information or specification available on the headphone itself, but who cares? You're never going to hear one anyway, as they're only making 100 units, and they cost $8,900. Just appreciate it for what it is. It's an absolutely stunning piece of art in headphone form. Just look at this thing. Right, that's all from me for this episode of Wheezy Tech News. As always, if you liked this video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and consider checking out some more of my videos and perhaps subscribing. And I will see you in the next video. And until then, have a good one.